Welcome to OrganicAuthority.com TV, the internet's #1 eco-chic cooking show, where everything is absolutely delicious, green, and organic. I am your host, Laura Klein. So today we're gonna make one of my favorite soups. This is an organic broccolini and spinach soup, and it is absolutely delicious. So all you need are just a few ingredients. I've cut up a half a cup of onions, leeks, about 2 tablespoons of garlic. I've got about a 1/4 cup of fresh herbs. I love fresh herbs, particularly in things like soups, because it really adds a nice fresh herby taste. And I've got Italian parsley, marjoram, and basil. We've also got some fresh lemon zest and lemon juice, which is gonna really brighten up the flavor. So this is broccolini. It's a cross between broccoli and Chinese kale. It's really yummy and it's a little more tender, actually quite a bit tender than broccoli, and I really like it because if you were to make this soup with broccoli, you'd have to peel the stems, and the stems of broccolini are actually much more tender, and so you don't have to peel away kind of like the tough outer skin. So to get started, we're gonna saute the onions, and I've got about a half a cup of onions here. And I've already heated my oil in this soup pot, and I've got about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm gonna get that going. I'm gonna add my leeks, and again, that's a half a cup of leeks. And I'm sprinkling it with some sea salt and pepper, because that's gonna help bring out the natural flavors of this yummy soup. I really like to layer in the flavors and season something every time I add a new layer of flavoring. So we're gonna let that saute for just a moment. And next, I'm gonna add the garlic. I've got about 2 tablespoons of garlic here. I like to add the garlic to the onions and leeks after I've added them to the pan, because garlic burns really easily, and this helps, really preserve the delicate flavor of garlic. So we're gonna let this saute for about 10 minutes, and I've got it over medium-low heat. So it's just gonna make it really nice and moist and really, start releasing all of those juices until it's totally tender. All right, so our vegetables have been sauteing for just about 10 minutes, and they've taken on a really nice translucent color. So next we're gonna add our herbs. So I've got about a 1/4 cup of Italian parsley, basil, and marjoram. Those are gonna go right in. We're gonna add our broccolini stems that is. And I bought about 1.5 pounds of broccolini. And then I've got 5 cups of vegetable stock. Now, this recipe is totally vegetarian as it is. If you wanted, you could use chicken stock. It's really your choice. And of course, if you have homemade chicken stock or vegetable stock, that is the best. Or if you don't have the time to do it, just pick it up at the store. So I'm gonna let these guys simmer now for just about 2 to 3 minutes, because then it's gonna start to tenderize those broccolini stems. We'll be right back. Okay, so we've tenderized our broccolini stems. Now we're gonna add the florets. And this is gonna simmer for about 5 minutes.
All right, so let's check the broccolini. We wanna make sure it's fork tender, and that's how you know it's done. Oh yeah, this is definitely fork tender. You can see how easily this goes right in. Okay, so next we're adding about probably 2 to 3 cups of spinach to our organic broccolini and spinach soup. And we're gonna also add about 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. And We're just going to stir this until the spinach wilts into the soup. So we're going to let that cook for maybe a minute or two, and we'll move on to our next step.
Okay, next up, we're pureeing the soup. So I've got my handy dandy Vitamixer here, which is the best blender in the whole world. And I'm just gonna scoop this in, and we're gonna puree this whole thing. And you wanna do it in batches. You don't wanna fill it up too much because the heat could literally blow the top off, and you don't want that, trust me. Okay. And we're just gonna continue this and see how green it comes out. It's really kind of cool. And we're just gonna continue until we're done. Okay. So I'm gonna add everything back to the pan. And if you need to reheat it, you can reheat it, but this is actually heated through pretty well. And I like to add a little cream to my soups. You can add cream, you can add soy milk, you can add almond milk, whatever you want. Today I'm gonna add a little cream, and I'm just gonna stir it in. And this will thicken it a little bit and give it a really nice consistency. And I'm gonna adjust the seasoning a little bit. I wanna taste it first. I don't have a spoon at the moment, but this fork will do well. Yeah, it needs a little bit of adjustment. I'm gonna add a little more salt and pepper. Again, I really like to use sea salt. I don't like to use iodized salt. It has a much harsher flavor. Sea salt is much milder and really helps bring out the natural flavors. I'm gonna give it another stir and give it another taste. You know, I really encourage you to taste your food as you cook it. That way you really develop a more sophisticated palate. That's getting really good. And now I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to brighten it up a little bit. All right, this is really good. Yep, the lemon juice adds a really nice zest, a really nice thing. Okay, so let's give this one last taste. All right, that is really good. That is perfect. It is ready to be served. You know, one thing I love to eat this with is you could just make some little toast points and then grate some Parmesan cheese on top of it and put it on top of the soup and just kind of float it, and it's a really nice added little touch. Wow, that is really good. And if you don't think you like broccolini or spinach, you gotta try this soup because it is delicious. I'm Laura Klein, and you're watching OrganicAuthority.com TV. If you have any questions, email me at laura@organicauthority.com and leave a question in the comment box below. See you next time.